The modern military aircraft carrier is a formidable war machine, capable of deploying a country's aerial force anywhere in the globe. The largest carriers can carry as many as 90 airplanes and helicopters.
An aircraft carrier in its battle group has enough military power to defend an entire nation, and it's completely mobile. We also use it to prevent conflict. The first question the White House asks when there's any conflict in the world, where's the closest aircraft carrier?
So when and why were these aircraft carriers created? By 1917, raids on London and the nearby Channel ports by Zeppelins were commonplace. These terrifying machines, over 600 feet in length, carried up to 2 tons of high explosives. These monstrous airships loomed high and seemed impossible to defeat.
So, who comes on the scene but Lieutenant Stuart Cully? And he had a lot of guts. He said, well, let me have a crack at this. Cully jumped in the cockpit and took off, but he couldn't get above it. It was still so high in the altitude that his little airplane couldn't get any higher. So Cully got behind it and below it and then pulled back on the stick, and he immediately pressed the triggers on his 2 machine guns and emptied the magazines into the Zeppelin.
The Zeppelin issued a trail of white smoke that soon burst into a fiery conflagration and fell into the sea below. Although World War I vessels launched aircraft from their decks, the first ship to have a full-length flat deck was Britain's HMS Argus, which was converted in September 1918. The United States Navy lagged behind, converting the USS Langley in 1920. Soon after, the Saratoga and the Lexington were converted from battle cruisers into aircraft carriers in 1922. These sister ships were the largest carriers in the world until the end of World War II. The important role of the carrier was demonstrated by Japan's attack at Pearl Harbor, with their carriers bringing over 400 attack aircraft. In only 1 hour and 15 minutes, 2,403 United States military were killed, and 5 of our battleships, the pride of our fleet, were sunk.
They basically sent a huge message across the world that the battleship was dead. Now the aircraft carrier ruled, and sinking the Arizona and Oklahoma was a huge testament that the age of the battleship was part of the dinosaurs. Air power was ruling the high seas, and aircraft carriers were the way to deliver that air power, rendering basically battleships obsolete.
Naval historians have concluded that World War II's victories on land could not have been won without the pivotal victories at sea. The Battle of Midway was a major naval victory, but the Battle of the Coral Sea, 1 month earlier, set the stage.
The Japanese naval fleet in World War II, ever since Pearl Harbor, were undefeated from Pearl Harbor until the Battle of the Coral Sea. As long as the Japanese Navy has that maritime and air superiority, there was no way to get to Japan. The road to Tokyo was blocked. It's a long way from the United States to get all the way there, 4,500 miles with islands all along the way that have Japanese emplacements. They have Japanese ships and battle groups that are not going to allow us to put planes over the land of Japan or boots on the ground. So we had to somehow pave a road to Tokyo and somehow get all the way from the United States there, which ended up happening starting with the Coral Sea.
Word came the Japanese were advancing towards Australia. Admiral Nimitz immediately responded by sending the Lexington and the Yorktown to the Coral Sea. Both sides finally located and attacked the other's aircraft carriers. With the Japanese carrier Shokaku damaged, the U.S. carrier Lexington critically damaged and later scuttled, and the Yorktown sustained damage that had to be repaired to make her operational in time for Midway 4 weeks in the future.
We had 11 aircraft carriers. Japan had 12. By the end of the war, they had basically built a total of 16 that they had deployed. With our escort carriers and our heavy carriers, we had 150. So the focus really shifted to the aircraft carrier.
It's not just a war machine anymore. An aircraft carrier it's your home, it's your shipmates, it's where you eat, it's where you sleep. There's nothing really quite like it. We all use code names in the air. The code name for the carrier is Mother. That's kind of what it means to everything in the fleet. It kind of paints the whole picture.